Wednesday, July 16th, 2025, AGNDD intelliReport topic. Sarah Coyle, please pardon any visual and informational inaccuracies in this entirely AI-generated article-based video. She would say life is too short to be holding grudges. Ireland's oldest woman, Sarah Coyle, dies at the age of 108. By Maeve McTaggart. From www.independent.ie, Irish Independent. Wednesday, July 16, 2025. You knew when you were talking to her that you were in the presence of someone significant, says Mrs. Coyle's grandson. One of Ireland's oldest people, Sarah Coyle, celebrating her 108th birthday last July. Ireland's oldest woman, Sarah Coyle, has died at the age of 108. Mrs. Coyle, who was born in Knockatom Coyle, Co-Wicklow on July 24, 1916, died peacefully surrounded by her family in Co-Dublin on Monday evening, 10 days before her 109th birthday. Her grandson, Thomas Galligan, said his grandmother was an inspiration who lived an amazing life through 2 pandemics, the Civil War, the War of Independence, and 2 world wars. You knew when you were talking to her that you were in the presence of someone significant. She was amazing, he said. She was one of 10 siblings, and one of 3 who lived over the age of 100. Her younger sister Lily, aged 103, lives in Birmingham in the UK. She grew up in Coolkenno before moving to Dublin at the age of 17, where she married her husband Tom Coyle, a near namesake of the place where she was born in County Wicklow in 1950. She lost her sight just 7 years later at the age of 40, though lived independently for much of her life following her husband's death in 1986. Mrs. Coyle has 2 children, 5 grandchildren, and 7 great-grandchildren. She loved children. Even though she couldn't see, she would know the sound of the children's voices. She was just so happy when she had children with her, said Mr. Galligan. Mrs. Coyle had been living with her daughter, Marion Galligan, in Castleknock, County Dublin for the last number of years. Her son, Patrick, lives in Australia. She received 8 presidential medals throughout her life, one for the year she turned 100 and another for each year since. She was always someone who was so comforting. She had a very gentle way about her, someone that you go to if you're upset or have any issues. She would calm you, said her grandson, Mr. Galligan. She loved nothing more than having a cup of tea and chatting away for hours. She would just be so happy with the company. Because she lost her sight, the radio was her insight into what was going on in the world. She loved keeping on top of things, and then, when she would be chatting to us, she would be discussing it and getting our opinion on things. Mr. Galligan said his grandmother was a kind-hearted person who would have never held grudges against anyone, and was the type of person who would say, life is too short to be holding grudges. She always thought about others before she thought about herself. She was a very kind, gentle-souled, gentle person. Mr. Galligan recalled how his grandmother could recount stories from the War of Independence, encounters with the Black and Tans, and the rationing faced by the country during the Second World War. She lost her sight when she lived on her own. She loved gardening and flowers. She used to have different guide wires that she made by herself with her hands, to guide from the back door to the flower beds, and she knew exactly where the tomato plants and the roses were, to guide herself around. She was very adaptable with a positive outlook on life. She learned to be happy with what she had, and if her family was happy, she was happy. Like most things in her life, he said she took the title of being one of Ireland's oldest people in her stride, and her family has many happy memories of time spent with her. If we could all aspire to that, her whole mantra was to kind of live and let live. Life is too short to be having arguments. A funeral mass for Mrs. Coyle will take place in Blanchardstown Village Church on Friday morning at 10 a.m. before she is laid to rest alongside her late husband in Glasnevin Cemetery.
Thank you for watching this AGNDD intelliReport, dear viewers. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell button to get notified during new uploads. and make sure to tune in next time. Stay safe and healthy. Cheers.